Python class 2, Python download and installation. Observe the steps. First, launch Python website, python.org. Next, download your operating system compatible Python software. Next, install the software and set the path while installation. What is the path? See, environment variable required. Suppose if you install a Python C program files Python directory, want to execute that, want to use or want to access Python software from desktop or any other directory, you need to set the path, environment variable path for Java, for Python, any language. Say if you set environment variable path, then you can access the Python software from any directory in your machine. Machine means computer. See, install the software and set the path while installation. Option is there. Option is there. Next, launch Python ideally. Ideally stands for, tell me, Savitri, what is ideally? Ideally stands for
Integrated Development Learning Environment.
Integrated Development and Integrated Development and Learning Environment. Or you can say Python shell. Next, write a in order to verify the environment setup, write a sample program and run. Run means execute. If it is executing properly, then you can say our environment is okay. Okay. Next, after this practical, today I will explain roadmap. Tomorrow onwards, we will discuss Python concepts one by one. See, Python syllabus roadmap for this program. Using this one, I will explain in a brief manner. You can get clarity. Python syllabus, or you can say an overview of Python programming. An overview of Python programming. First, guide me, Savitri. Python installation. What is Python installation? Just a minute. Rajesh.
Hi, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hope you can hear me too.
Yes. Try to join in time, Rajesh.
Yes.
You joined late. Yesterday late. Today also late. Why? Try to join at least 1 or 2 minutes before the scheduled time. What is your problem? Is there any other work?
No, sir. Actually, my shift timing is 12 to 9 office hours.
Okay.
That's the reason. Cool. But I'm really sorry for this trouble.
Cool. No problem. If you have shift timing, then you join in time or 1 or 2 minutes late. No problem. Okay.
Yes, sure, sir.
Can you view my desktop? And
yes,
yesterday I didn't introduce you, Rajesh. Tell me, Rajesh, where is your location?
Sir, I'm actually from Andhra Pradesh, Giddalur hometown, but I'm currently working with
Giddalur means Prakasham district.
Prakasham district, yes, sir.
Okay. Now you are working where?
I'm working in JPMC, Bangalore location, sir. As a manual tester, I have around 5 years of experience
in manual.
So
testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm planning to shift the domain from manual to automation. So I thought I'll start with any coding language, and I felt Python as you mentioned yesterday.
Definitely. See, if you learn Python, then you can learn Selenium or Appium. Selenium uses Python. Appium also uses Python. Java or Python. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Rajesh. Okay, cool. Okay. And Savitri, did you open our private recorded session video?
Yes, sir. I opened.
Is it working fine?
Yeah, is it working? It's
and,
working, sir.
Did you receive our class notes?
Sir.
What about you, Rajesh? Did you open the
yes.
recorded session?
Yes, sir. And I have went through the recorded class today before joining the class, and
cool.
I was able
to just today only I sent that videos playlist to you, Savitri. Videos playlist. Daily I no need to send video, I will update that playlist daily basis. If you click that one, you can get all our videos, that is lifetime access. Daily basis class notes I will send, and you
Okay.
try to fare that notes. If you add some more topics to that class notes, it will fare. Okay. Any other, Savitri?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, cool. Observe Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
See, launch Python. Observe these steps. Savitri, guide me.
So we need to go to official website python.org.
Launch official website. What is Python official website? Python.org.
Org.
Python.org. It is official website. Here observe downloads tab. Here download for Windows is there. Here Windows, Mac OS, other platforms are there. See, mine is Windows 10 64-bit operating system. I'm downloading Windows compatible software, Python 3.10.0. It is downloading. Observe left side bottom. Downloading now.
Yes, sir.
Executable file. Otherwise, go to this one, Windows. Here observe latest Python 3, Python 2, old version. Savitri. Some developers developed some applications using Python 2. Some syntax also vary from Python 2 and 3. Still, they are updating Python 2. But
Okay.
you no need to focus on Python 2 version. Python 3. Focus on Python 3. Python 3. Just a minute. If you click this one, here observe. Mac, Windows, Windows 30, Windows installer 32-bit, 64-bit. 64-bit is there now. What is downloaded? Just a minute. Downloads. 64-bit only downloaded. That's why I'm using this one. Otherwise, you download your operating system compatible software. Suppose yours is Python, Windows 32-bit. How to download? Downloads Windows latest Python 3 release. Next, scroll down. Here, Python Windows 32-bit installer, 64-bit installer. If you download installer, it will download and install the Python software. That is the usage of installer. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Next, observe downloads Python. Click this one. This is executable file. Run. Observe here. Bottom, add Python 3.10 to path. Rajesh, why
Yes,
this
sir.
one? If you add path while installation, then it will create environment variable automatically. Getting the point? Suppose, if you, what is the purpose of environment variable? If you set Python environment variable, then you can access Python from any directory in your mission. Suppose Python available in where it is installing C users program files Python 3 directory. Suppose if your Python program file available on desktop or some other area, you can easily access the Python software. Suppose in my mission Java also there, I set Java environment variable also for accessing Java software from any directory in my mission. Observe advanced system settings. environment variables. Here, path. Environment variables. Where is the path variable? Path. Edit. Observe. Savitri. Java path is there now.
Yes, sir.
Java path is there.
Yes, sir.
See, this is the concept of environment variable. Say for Python, you no need to set up the path separately. You just check this option. Add Python 3.1 to path. Okay.
Okay.
Click install now. Install now. Yes. The Python is installing. Python for Windows. Observe here. 64-bit setup now.
Yes, sir.
Windows 10 or 7 or something, that doesn't matter. Technical classification 64-bit or 32-bit. Mine is Windows 64-bit operating system. Java installation also same. You have to download your operating system compatible Java software. Okay. Close. After downloading, you can get Python IDLE, Integrated Development and Learning Environment. Observe Start menu. Here observe Rajesh. IDLE Python is there now.
Yes.
Rajesh, are you there, Rajesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
IDLE Python is there now.
Yes.
You click this one. Sorry. This is Python IDLE, or you can say shell. And one more thing, Python supports two types of programming, two modes of programming, Savitri. Any idea? Two modes of programming.
Interactive scripting.
Two modes of programming. Do you know Python basics already?
Somewhat little bit, sir.
Two modes of programming. What is first one?
Interactive.
Interactive mode. Second one,
Scripting modes.
script mode, or you can say file mode. What is interactive mode? See, what for if you want to execute a single command, otherwise if you want to execute your statements or steps or instructions, statement, step or instruction, all are synonyms. If you want to execute your Python steps immediately, for interactive mode. Suppose if you want to execute multiple steps, then go for script or file mode. Getting the point, Savitri, or any confusion?
Sir, I'm getting.
What is interactive mode?
If you want immediately, if you want
to execute your Python code immediately, go for interactive mode. It will execute immediately. Suppose script mode, for executing multiple steps. For example, if you want to write 20 or 50 steps on program, after writing complete program you want to execute it, then go for script mode or file mode. Okay. Suppose if you want to just learn that concepts, you can execute step by step using interactive mode. Today I will show both the modes. Tomorrow onwards we will use file mode only. You can practice with the interactive mode also. Okay. First interactive mode, Rajesh. Interactive mode. For example, print hello Python. Hello Python. No semicolon. Python 2 supports semicolon at end of each statement, but in Python 3 they removed. Suppose if you use semicolon after every statement in your Python 3 code, I think no issue. It can execute, but don't follow old syntax. Observe, enter this one, enter. Observe, Savitri. It is providing the output immediately, na?
Yes, sir.
It is providing the output immediately. Suppose x equals to 100.
Yes, sir.
Executed, but no output here. No output. Executed. Next, y equals to 200. No output. Suppose print x plus y. This time it will show output. Okay. And one more thing. Suppose print A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Semicolon. Semicolon. It is old syntax. What will happen? Will it show error or execute, Savitri?
It will execute, sir. No issue with 3.10.
No issue. But don't follow old syntax. It supports Python 2 syntax also, but don't follow this semicolon, not required. And one more thing, one drawback of this interactive program, you can't edit your code. Getting? Suppose if you want to change ABCD to XYZ, you can't change. You need to write one more new statement. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
So this is IDLE or Python shell. Observe here, shell. Okay. Next, if you want to write programs, use use file mode, or you can say script mode. Observe file, new file. This is notepad editor, new file. For example, I'm saving as sample. My file name is sample dot. What is Python extension, Savitri? Do you have idea?
.py, sir.
.py. Suppose I'm storing this file on desktop. Save. Okay. Next, observe x equals to 10. Say Python doesn't support explicit declaration of data types. Y equals to 20. Y equals to 20. Just a minute. Suppose print x plus y. Print x plus y. Next, print. Just a minute. Print. Suppose hello. Observe, Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
Print hello. This time enclosed with a single quote. This time enclosed with three quotes. Suppose just a minute. Single quote. Two quotes. Double quote. Next, triple quote. Next, triple single, triple double. Save the file. Save. Next, go to run menu. Run module or shortcut key F5.
Sir, in
No
the first
error.
line error.
Where is error?
Oh, can we use the double quotes and single quotes?
it is taking the double quote as part of hello.
Okay, okay,
Part of hello. That's why it
okay,
is
okay,
taking. Instead of error, it is taking the double quote is part of the message.
okay,
The
okay.
run module. Observe 30 hull. Suppose if you want to clear, just a minute. Run module. Observe 30 hello. Say means for say if it is Java programming, strings enclosed with double quotes. If it is VB script, strings enclosed with double quotes. But in Python, you can use single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes or triple double quotes. All are correct. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is sample program. For example, just a minute. Suppose 100. This one, an expectation hash sign. Hash sign is a comment syntax in Python programming. Comment syntax. Suppose my expected is 120. 120. Just a minute. If x greater than y colon, don't focus on the syntax, we will discuss the syntax later. Now observe Savitri.
No, sir.
Python follows code indentation. Code indentation. Indentation means spaces before the statement. Code indentation. Suppose observe print hello. After this one click, cursor goes to beginning of the next line now.
Yes, sir.
Beginning of the next line. Suppose after the fifth condition, enter, it leaves some spaces now.
Sir.
It leaves some spaces. This is called code indentation. What is code indentation? What is code indentation? Leaving some spaces for creating code block. Code block. If it is for block or loop block, etc. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose print one way. I am writing one way condition. X is big number. Int x, print x is big number. Enter. You can write one more statement or multiple statements in this block of code. I don't want. One more time. Enter. So go to beginning of the line. Then it is a normal statement. Normal statement. Suppose print Python. Print Python. Observe Rajesh. Total, how many outputs are there in this program? Just a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next code block 5, 6, 7 outputs. This last statement, print Python, is independent statement. Not belongs to if condition. If condition. Run the program. Condition is true or false. I think true. X is 100, Y is 20. First save the file. Save, run module F5. Observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outputs. See here code blocks. Okay, now?
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow we will discuss basic syntax of the example. Tomorrow we will discuss basic syntax of the Python. Before that, one general idea. Do you know about Java programming Rajesh?
No, sir, I didn't
Okay,
have
cool.
much
No
experience.
problem. No problem. What about you,
No,
Savitri?
sir.
Do you know about Java programming?
No, sir.
No, no
I didn't
problem.
have.
See, in Java also, you can find uh, code blocks. What are the code blocks? Condition blocks, loop blocks, method blocks, exception blocks, constructor blocks, etc. In Java, code blocks enclosed with curly braces. Code blocks enclosed with curly braces. Observe one sample. If condition, just idea. If condition, open curly braces, next statements, next close curly braces. See, Java code block, condition block or loop block or method block or constructor block or exception block enclosed with curly braces. See, in the same if statement line, you can use curly braces or next line, no problem. Next line, start curly braces. Okay. Next,
Okay.
VB script, just idea. VB script follows, this is Java. VB script follows, see here, enclosed with curly braces now. VB script follows start and end. VB script is not case sensitive. Start and end keywords. We use VB script in UFT test automation. UFT is commutator of Selenium tool. For example, here observe Rajesh. If condition, then also VB script state keyword statement one or more. Next, end if. See, VB script code blocks enclosed with start and end keywords. Java code blocks enclosed with
Curly braces.
Just a minute. Next, Python code blocks follow code indentation. Suppose first one, this is Java Savitri. This is Visual Basic Scripting Edition. Suppose our Python. If condition colon, next here we follow code indentation. Statement one or more. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In other programming languages, Rajesh, that the code indentation is that the spaces are only for code readability. But in our Python, for writing code block, finding the difference between, see, we may follow code indentation in Java and VB script also, but there is no meaning for that, only for readability. But if you follow in code indentation in Python, that is creating code block. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here observe VB script, start keyword, if, end keyword, end if, end if, next, for example, for, end keyword next, while, when, do while, loop, like that. Okay, this is about sample program. Now observe Savitri, come to mainstream. Do you know that one? Installing, download and install Python software and write a sample program and run. We installed Python and we wrote one sample program, executed, and it is executing fine. Now, okay now?
Okay, sir.
Now observe roadmap for our program. Tomorrow notes we will discuss concepts one by one. Rajesh, Python
Yes, sir.
syllabus. First, say I'm introducing core Python. Rajesh, observe Rajesh. You take any technology. You no need to learn all concepts of any technology. Actually, you can't learn. Suppose you take Java. Java has hundreds of libraries, thousands of libraries. Suppose JavaScript has lakhs of libraries. You want to learn all the libraries, all the functionalities, it takes 100 years. So
It is not possible.
it's not possible. It is impractical. So we focus on important things. Suppose I will explain, I will teach this Python in general orientation, all required concepts, core concepts. Next, if you want to use this Python for test automation, you no need to learn any other. These concepts are enough. Suppose if you want to use this Python for artificial intelligence and machine learning or big data or some other technologies, you need to learn some other libraries enough. But this is core. And one more thing, observe. JavaScript is there. JavaScript. Oh, where is the official website? This one. JavaScript. 20 years of JavaScript. 1996. Ours is 30 years. Ours. Observe libraries, Savitri. How many libraries?
Almost
14 lakh.
14 lakh
44,231 libraries and counting. Daily they are updating.
Okay.
Daily they are adding new libraries. See, so far 14 lakh plus libraries. Can you learn 14 lakh plus libraries within 1 year?
No, sir, not at all.
But not required also, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you focus on required things. First, observe our roadmap. Rajesh, first focus on, we already did that one, Python installation. Python installation. Suppose in some operating environments, latest operating systems of Linux, Mac environments, Python may be built in. You can check in command line prompt by typing Python whether it is available or not. In some latest operating environment, Savitri, Python is built in. But in our operating system, Windows 10, it is not built in. That's why I installed. Okay. Focus on Python installation. Otherwise, you can say environment setup. Environment setup. Already I told yesterday, Rajesh, can you remember? For learning, Python IDLE is enough. But for real-time use, we need to use any commercial, not commercial, any IDE like PyCharm or Eclipse with the PyDev plugin, etc. Okay, you try to learn using Python IDLE only. It is flexible for learning. Okay, Python installation. And one more example also I did yesterday, Savitri. If you want to execute, if you want to write and run means execution. Write and run VB script programs in Windows. You no need to install anything. VB script engine is built in with Microsoft Windows. You just launch Notepad. Notepad also built in with OS, operating system. That is operating system distribution. MS Office is not built in. Notepad is built in. Okay. You can directly execute that one. But if you want Python, you install Python interpreter. You saw that one. It is very simple. Next, why Python environment or installation? To write and execute Python programs, then Python environment is required. Python environment, or you can say Python programming environment or Python development environment. Next, Abdul Rajesh,
Yes, sir.
Python, focus on Python basic syntax. Python basic syntax. Focus on Python basic syntax. Here, one is, we already discussed it. Tomorrow I will explain once again. Modes of programming, Savitri. Modes of programming, one concept. Modes of programming. We have two modes of programming, Rajesh. What are they? One is interactive mode, another is
script or file program.
Script mode or file mode. Next, focus on Python keywords. Python keywords. Keyword means a key to the code. A key to the code. Here, observe Savitri. In this program, I used two keywords. Two keywords. Can you tell me what are the two keywords?
One is the if, sir.
One is if, another is print also keyword now. Okay, that is built-in function.
Okay,
Built-in function, but print also keyword. A key to the code. If you print, if you type print, it will do something now.
Yes, sir.
It will do something. So a key to the code, keyword. If you use if, it will form the condition block. So keyword. Focus on keywords. Suppose print, if, for, etc. So many keywords are there. Tomorrow I will introduce the keywords. Notes also I will send. Focus on Python keywords. Next, Python identifiers. Identifiers. What are programming identifiers and keywords? Not only for Python. You take any programming language. These are mandatory for writing programs. What are identifiers in computer programming, Rajesh? What are programming identifiers? The Java or Python or any other language? What are identifiers? Identifiers.
No,
Programming identifiers. You tell me, Savitri.
No idea, sir.
Simple. Variables are identifiers. Variables are identifiers.
Okay.
Functions are identifiers. Methods are identifiers. Okay. Just a minute. Observe. Suppose here I am using X. What is this X? Identifier or keyword?
Identifier, sir.
Identifier. It identifies the variable. Variable name. Variable name is identifier. It identifies the variable. Suppose observe. Suppose my country. My country is variable name. See, you can use 1 to 256 characters in length. Variable names. See, my country, India. My country, India. Suppose print my country. Print my country. Hash code See, it is only for readability. Whenever you update the file or script, save. No need to compile. See, it is auto compilation. It is scripting language, lightweight language. Run module. Observe India, not my
Sir.
country, India only. Value of variable, India only. Save the program file, run module, observe, run module, observe India. Now observe Savitri,
Yes, sir.
my
India.
country. It is variable name,
Yes.
identifier, user defined. You can use any identifier, meaningful identifier. Okay, meaningful identifier. Next, what is this X identifier? Variable names are identifiers for identifying the variables. Function name, identifier. Next, method names, identifier. Class name, identifier. Okay. Now observe, what is X identifier? What is 100? What is 100?
Values. Variable.
Value. Or you can say data. Next, what is my country? What is my country? Identifier. It identifies the name of the variable. What is this equals to? Assignment operator. What is India? India is data. Value. Okay. Just a minute. We write. Just a minute. Identifiers. Okay, na identifiers. Savitri. Variables are identifiers. Methods are identifiers. Functions are identifiers. We use names. We try to use meaningful names.
Sure. Okay.
Next, keywords. Another name for keywords, reserved words. Reserved words. Next, lines of code. Lines and focus on lines and indentation. Lines and code indentation. Next, comments. Comments are executable. Comments are not executable units. We write comments for code readability. Or secondary purpose, disable some statements from execution that we will discuss tomorrow. And quotation marks. The Python supports single quote, double quote, triple quote, the single, triple, double, triple quotations. Okay, you focus on these. And one more thing, observe one point, Savitri. You take any programming language, we write programs using four components.
Okay.
Programs can be written using keywords, next identifiers, next data or values, and special characters. These four only. You take Java or Python or any language. Observe here. Just a minute, our sample program. Where is that one? This is output. Output console. Observe X is
Variable.
tell me, Savitri. We write
X is-
programs using 4 components. What are the 4
Yes.
components?
So where data, variable, values,
Not variable. First, keywords.
keywords.
Follow the
Okay.
sequence. Using
Okay.
keywords or reserved words. Using
Okay.
keywords. Next, identifiers. Next, data or values. Next, special characters.
Okay. Okay. Sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Observe. X is what is X? You fix that X in our 4 components. What is this X? Is it keyword or identifier or data or special character?
Identify.
Identifier. Identifier. Next, what is this equals to? Okay, it may be operator, but what is this symbol? Is it a keyword or identifier or data or special character?
Special character.
Special character from keyboard. Special character. Next, what is this 100?
Value,
Data or
data.
Value or data. Value or data. Okay. Next, what is this print? Keyword.
Keyword.
What is this if?
Keyword.
Keyword. What is this
Keyword.
colon?
Special character.
Special character. Part of syntax, but special character. What is this parenthesis? Open and close parenthesis. Special character. Okay, na?
Okay.
We can restrict our statements, program statements using within these 4 components. Na?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One more thing, program steps. Observe independent statements. Independent statements, or you can say steps, or you can say instructions. All are synonyms. Instructions. Widely using term is statement, or you can say step. Okay. Independent statements. For example, x equals to 100. That is independent statement. Okay. The statement may have relation with other statements. Suppose next line, print x. Relation is there, but independent statements. Next, code blocks. Code blocks. Independent statements, code blocks, comments. Comments are not executable units. Comments. Using these 3 units, we prepare our programs. Okay, na?
Okay.
Savitri, independent
Yes.
statements, code blocks, and comments. And
Yes.
comments.
Okay.
Any other type of statements? Independent statement or code block or comment. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Next.
Yes.
Third, two topics, 2 chapters. I think 2 chapters we discussed. Tomorrow onwards we will discuss. What are the two chapters? First, focus on Python installation, or you can say Python programming environment. Next, focus on Python basic syntax, Python language syntax. Okay, syntax
Yes.
is required for writing programs. Next, focus on Python variables. Variable is a named memory location to store the temporary data within a program, not permanent data, temporary data. Variable store in RAM, that we will discuss in variables chapter. Here, what are the notes I will send? Observe my explanation. Here, what are the important concepts in this variables chapter? Create or declare, synonyms. Create variables, or you can say declare variables. create is widely used term, popular term. Create or declare Python variables. That is one concept. Okay, just create or declare variables. Variables. How to declare that we will discuss in variables chapter. Python doesn't support explicit declaration of data types. Next, assign values. Assign values to variables. Rajesh, assign values to variables. Okay, how to assign that we will discuss in variables chapter, Rajesh. Just the idea, Rajesh, in computer
Yes, sir.
programming, we have two types of value assignment to variables. Any idea? We have two types of value assignment. Two types
Equal
of
to
equality is operator. Okay. Savitri, we have two
No.
types of value assignment to variables in computer programming, not only in Python.
Okay. I have no idea, sir.
One is you know that I think you know that one, but terminology I think
Maybe.
you don't know. Suppose
yeah.
here two types. One is initialization, another is reading. One is initialization, another is reading. Observe here, where is the program file? Here observe, my country equals to India. This is initialization. What is initialization? Assigning a value directly in the program. Assigning a value to a variable directly in the program is called initialization. Suppose x equals to 100, initialization. Y equals to 20, initialization. Suppose another one, next one, reading. Reading. Suppose you are reading x value from keyboard or from external file. That is reading. Okay, na? Savitri?
Okay, sir.
Assigning not only in Python, in any
any
programming language. See, I will teach Python in general orientation. After this program, definitely you can cope up with any technology. You can learn other technologies easily. Observe, Savitri. Tell me, what are the two types of value assignment to variables? One is initialization. Another is
Reading.
reading. One is initialization, another is reading. What is initialization, Rajesh?
Assigning any value to a variable.
Assigning a value to a variable directly in the program. Reading means reading a value to a variable using keyboard, means input device, or from external files. Okay. Okay. Next, variable types. Variable types. Next, important one, variable naming rules. Naming rules, Savitri. For
Okay.
example, I will give one naming rule. Variable name should start with either alphabet or underscore. Variable name should not start with numbers. That is one naming rule. For example, in this chapter we will discuss. That is one rule. Next, one more rule. Python variables are case sensitive. For example, VB script variables are not case sensitive. Okay, these are the important topics in this Python variables. Python variables. Next, combined one. Actually, combined topic. Data types and variables. Data types. Data types. See, here what we have to discuss. Python built-in data types. Built-in data types. This is one concept. Next, notes I will provide. Getting the data type. Next, setting the data type. And setting the specific data type. Why getting the data type? Why getting the data type? Here observe, x equals to 100. X equals to 100. What is this data type? Suppose you are reading data. What is the data type?
Integers.
You can't say this is visible. Yeah. Suppose if you are reading that 100, you can't say. Why? This Python takes any type of data. Here implicit declaration of data types. For example, Java is formal language. Java supports the explicit declaration of data types. Suppose if you want to use integer data type in Java, int x equals to 100, you need to write that one. For example, observe my country equals to India. Suppose my country equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it syntax error?
No, sir.
No error. No error. Say, as per the data, it will consider. Observe save. Otherwise, you do one thing. Suppose first my country, India. X equals to 100. Print X. It will print
100.
100. Say that the value is visible, so you can say it is a integer. Suppose if value is not visible, it is you are reading. That time you need to set the data type now. Here we have separate function for type function, type function for getting the data type. So in data chapter, you need to focus on what are the built-in data types of Python, getting the data type, setting the data type, and setting the specific data type. For example, observe 10.23. It will accept it. But Java won't accept it. Next, suppose for the logical value, no error. It can store. Next, suppose India. Observe Rajesh. Here I am using one variable. Variable values may vary throughout the program. You can use fixed value for entire program or variable value vary throughout the program. But variables take latest values. Here observe, first time I am using integer data, next floating point value, next Boolean value, next string type data. Observe, it can accept. Why? It is lightweight language. It is not Java like formal language. Observe, 100, 10.23 true India. Okay, na? Suppose based on the usage, here no explicit declaration of data types. Based on the usage of data, internally it considers data types. But how end user knows that one? How end user knows that data type? Using type function we can get it. Okay. What are the important topics in this data types chapter? Notes I will provide. Observe my explanation. Python built-in data types. Next, getting the data type, setting the data type, and setting the specific data type. Last one. Tomorrow we'll continue. Next, operators. Python operators. Savitri. Python operators. See, we have some categories of operators in Python, Savitri. Not only Python, you take any programming language, we have some categories of operators. First of all, what are operators? Operators are used to perform arithmetic, comparison, and logical operations. Operators can be applied on variables and values that we will discuss. What are the important categories of operators, Rajesh? Tell me, last topic for the day. What are the important topics of operators?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic.
Comparative.
Yes. Tell me, Savitri.
Is it comparative, sir?
Comparison.
Comparison.
Comparison, or you can say relational operators. Next, logical operators.
Logical operators.
Logical operators. The logical operators are important, etc. These three are important categories. Some other categories also there. Logical operators are used to create compound conditions or multi conditions. What are the logical operators? Important logical operators: not, negation, and are, not and are. What are the important mathematical operations? See, you know, mathematical in your academics, you may know that one, Rajesh. What are the important arithmetic operators? What are the important
Addition,
mathematical operations? First of all, tell me, forget about technical terminology. What are the important mathematical operations? For example, addition is mathematical operation,
Addition, subtraction,
multiplication, division, and
modulus.
Means it returns remainder. Next,
Yes.
power of. To the power of is there na? Exponentiation.
Yes.
Exponentiation. Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, modulus, exponentiation. In division also, integer division and floating point division. Okay. Next, tomorrow we'll continue. Savitri, just I will start that one. Just a minute. Python control flow. Python control flow, Savitri. Just last question for the day. You tell me, Savitri, you take any programming language. We have 3 types of control flow statements. What are they? 3 types of control flow statements. You take any language. What about you, Rajesh? We have 3 types of control flow statements in computer programming, not only in Python. Variables are not for control flow. Operators are for operations, not control flow. What are the 3 types? Observe. Just decision making, or you can say conditional statements. For example, if, next, loop statements. For example, for, while. Next, third one, branching statements. For example, break, continue, return, like. Say, conditional statements are code blocks, loop statements are code blocks, branching statements are not code blocks. They are independent statements. We insert the branching statements within loops. Okay. Now I am going to close the today's session. Tomorrow we will continue. Any queries regarding this?